everybody, and welcome to White Lash Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Danger. My brother sent me a video with the likes of Martin Sheen, B.D. Wong, a few others. There's that woman that has been changing her face for years to look like a Catwoman. Loretta Swit is in the video, and basically what they're trying to do is deny the Donald the victory that he won in November. They're trying to basically intimidate electors into voting against the Donald. I don't think it's going to work. It looks ridiculous, and it is a harbinger of things to come. The Donald actually has two fake presidents calling for electors not to vote for him because of something they quote in the Constitution, which is actually, in my understanding, the first time that they have ever, any of these actors have ever read or heard of the document called the Constitution. The shiny-headed Moby is in here as well. Ladies and gentlemen, the irony in this video is not lost on me. When the Donald proclaimed that he would accept the results of the results of the election as they came to pass, he was slammed in the media. He was slammed in Hollywood, and now we have the liberal elites and the left trying to actually deny the results of the November election, citing the popular vote, citing the electoral college as an outdated institution. Now the video is done in the style of the Save an African Child PSA, where they ask for $1 a week to feed an African family, and your heart welts and your insides start to bleed a little, and then you kind of change the channel and move on. That's sort of the style that is occurring here. Martin Sheen says that our founding fathers built the Electoral College to safeguard the American people from the dangers of a demagogue and to ensure that the presidency only goes to someone who is to an eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications. So basically, screw your vote. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you voted for. Just go ahead and pick whomever you like. I think it is hilarious. It is the irony is not lost on me that the Democrats chastise the Donald for saying that he would not accept the results until they came to pass. I think it is ridiculous. And here's the video from the Liberal Foundation of Hollywood Elders. Take a listen.
Republican members of the Electoral College, this message is for you. As you know, our founding fathers built the Electoral College to safeguard the American people from the dangers of a demagogue and to ensure that the presidency only goes to someone who is to an eminent degree endowed with the requisite qualifications.
An eminent degree.
An eminent degree.
Someone who is highly qualified for the job.
The Electoral College was created specifically to prevent an unfit candidate from becoming president.
There are 538 members of the Electoral College. You
and just 36 other conscientious Republican electors can make a difference
by voting your conscience on December 19th.
And thereby shaping the future of our nation.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
I'm not asking you to vote for Hillary Clinton.
Nobody wants the Wicked Witch of the West to be the president. We get it.
As you know, the Constitution gives electors the right to vote for any eligible person.
Any eligible person, no matter which party they belong to.
But it should certainly be someone you consider especially competent.
Especially competent to serve as President of the United States of America.
Suggested names include Elizabeth Warren, Barney Frank, Nancy Pelosi, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez, or Joseph Stalin.
By voting your conscience, you and other brave Republican electors can give the House of Representatives the option to select a qualified candidate for the presidency.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you.
I stand with you in support and solidarity with conservatives, independents, and liberals.
And all citizens of the United States.
The American people trust that your voice speaks for us all.
And that you will make yourself heard through the constitutional responsibility granted to you by Alexander Hamilton himself.
What is evident is that Donald Trump lacks more than the qualifications to be president.
He lacks the necessary stability.
And clearly the respect for the Constitution of our great nation.
You have position,
The authority
And the opportunity to go down in the books as an American hero.
Who changed the course of history.
And you have my respect.
You have my respect. You have my respect.
for your patriotism.
And service to the American people.
Well, you've lost my respect. I expected it from the President of the United States from the movie in Clear and Present Danger where they nuked Baltimore. I expected it from the coke-snorting Martin Sheen. I expected it from all those other actors, but I didn't expect it from the Better Call Saul guy. I didn't expect it from you. So as Trump supporters, we're going to have to hope that the electors do not follow advice from the Better Call Saul lawyer in Breaking Bad and the spinoff Better Call Saul, and they actually follow 150 years of tradition. Now, I want to ask you, what do you guys think the real concern here? Do you think that they feel that America is going to be tough for them to live in? I mean, they're basically sitting in Beverly Hills, drinking cocktails, snorting cocaine, paying for copious amounts of intercourse, and basically, I don't think that America is going to change for them. Things were great when Obama was president. Obama hosted these guys constantly. He loved Hollywood people. He loved Hollywood parties. I honestly think that their main concern is that they're not going to be able to go to the White House. They're not going to be able to hobnob with White House officials. And their guy's not going to be in the White House. The main threat to them is the threat to their liberal ideology. It is not a concern for the country. It is not a concern for the regular people of America. It is a concern to their ideology. This is why they love Castro. They love liberal dictatorships. And the Democrat media and the Democrat Party is trying to undermine the Donald Trump presidency 20 days before it has occurred, more than 20 days before it has occurred. They're trying to perhaps even stop the Donald from ascending to the presidency that he won, by playing by the rules. Now, it's a great teachable moment here that liberals do not care about the rules. For my entire life, candidates have been chosen by politicians in smoke-filled rooms. It's a cliche, but it's true. Since I can remember, these politicians have been okayed by the powerful people. But now the little people have decided to pick somebody different because they're tired of their will being undermined, and they picked Donald Trump, and they're trying everything in the books to stop him from becoming president. It's actually very concerning there's this lie out there that the Russians hacked the election, when the Russians hacked the DNC servers and exposed the truth about the DNC. I mean, Bernie Sanders was probably the more popular candidate in that election, and they let him run because they thought it would be easy to run over him. The Democrat Party did not have a contest. There was no contest here. There was the governor of Maryland, O'Malley, and Bernie Sanders, who were allowed to run. On the other side, there were 17 Republicans, and Donald Trump ran through 17 other candidates, and Hillary had 2 people to go through. She had the support, the covert support of the DNC. Everybody on the right knew it, but the faithful Democrat electorate did not necessarily know it. So whomever hacked the DNC, they're saying it's the Russians. I think Obama and Hillary Clinton have some beef with Russia, where they want to continue to provoke the Russians to cover up for their political failings and deny Donald Trump the presidency. The DNC was actually engineering the stealing of delegates by Hillary Clinton, just like Martin Sheen's trying to do with electors in the general. So what the Democrats were complaining is actually that the truth was told about the process, that there was transparency, and that there was not as much transparency on the RNC. So what they're envisioning is some kind of a equal playing field, but not really equal because the mainstream media was all in the bag for Hillary. So what they're envisioning is a reality that does not exist, where there are no externalities, except basically the Democrat just always wins. They are basically just upset because they did not win. And they're calling it a hack because some emails were exposed. Not that Hillary Clinton had a corrupt foundation that was taking money from a dozen different countries that kill women for not wearing hijabs, kill gay people simply for being gay. Not because of that, not because of her corruption, not because of the fact that she had a email server in somebody's bathroom. No, it was because the Russians hacked the DNC. And make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats are living in a nightmare. They've got Donald Trump, who they all called a joke. John Oliver begged him to run. As a matter of fact, we have the audio. Take a listen.
The Republicans better have something pretty special up their sleeve if they're going to try and beat what they did last time.
Donald Trump, just last week, he confirmed to the National Review that he is again considering a run in 2016.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
Okay, you can make it out to Donald J. Trump. That's DONALD space TRUMP. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to White Lash Radio. You can follow me at White Lash Radio on Twitter, or email me at whitelashradio@gmail.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to White Lash Radio. I'm Jeffrey Danger. Now, I was reading Salon.com because I like to be angered. So I was reading about how the Man in the High Castle has just been released. Now, social justice warrior Melanie McFarland has a piece out about the release of The Man in the High Castle, which is an Amazon series about an alternate reality if the Nazis and the Japanese had won World War II. The title of the piece is called, if you can call it that, The Man in the High Castle, Season 2, an alternate then, only slightly removed from now. Now, Miss McFarland's piece is a great microcosm of what social justice warriors are going through right now. She writes, even after the election, when Amazon released the trailer for Season 2, some of us could still soothe ourselves with denial. At least we aren't ruled by literal Nazis, a subhead on a Vulture write-up snarked. That story posted on November 15, only a day or two after Donald Trump named Stephen Bannon as his chief advisor, and only a few days before white supremacists would convene and throw up Sig Heil salutes only blocks away from the White House. Maybe these parallels come off as alarmist. The second season of The Man in the High Castle rolls out today and is still science fiction for the moment. Few in its audience are likely to be watching it in order to steel themselves for the battle ahead. Given the fearsome direction in which the country is moving, some may see value in that idea. Then again, following that train of thought makes about as much sense as preparing for a boxing match by punching yourself repeatedly in the face. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it is insightful to watch The Man in the High Castle against today's realities, but for different reasons than is argued by this social justice warrior. If you examine it, on the right you have constitutional government, states' rights, a non-central government, meaning the federal government in theory should be smaller. You have freedom to pursue happiness, property rights, and lower taxes. On the left, you have a bent on controlling what you eat, controlling what you drive, a larger central government, propaganda from state media outlets like MSNBC, NBC, CNN, and you have eugenics in the form of abortion. Hitler's America in Man in the High Castle more closely resembles Obama's ideal for America, the idea where the government controls more and more of what the people do, than it does in a conservative, small government America. And speaking of Man in the High Castle, there's currently a disinformation campaign going on in the left, and that is with regard to the election. Now, we all voted our candidates, and we have a President-elect Trump who's going to be inaugurated very soon. And the argument is that the Russians hacked the election. Now, the verbiage is key. Words matter, ladies and gentlemen. And the left is trying to say that the Russians hacked the election, and if they were involved with the DNC hack, what they did was expose the truth. Now, liberals only like the truth if it helps them, and the truth of the matter is that the DNC hacked their primary, put Hillary Clinton, who was somebody that you cannot relate to as a person, and they lost. If Putin was sitting there at the keyboard hacking the DNC election, and he came across John Podesta's email, and he was able to figure out that the password was in fact the word password, and he got into one of the higher-ranking figures in the DNC, and was able to read all those emails by guessing that his password was password. And I guess that's why we have all of this information about how the DNC operates. And it has not created any kind of a sense that they need to change. They still have Nancy Pelosi as the head of the party. Thank you, everybody, for listening to White Lash Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Danger. I'll be back after a quick break. Hello, everybody, and thank you again for listening to White Lash Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Danger. If you'd like to send me an email, send me an email to whitelashradio@gmail.com or hit me up on Twitter at whitelashradio. So I'm going to switch gears here. We've got John Oliver's reaction to the Donald's victory. Oliver explains to us in liberal thought speech exactly the parameters that surrounded the 2016 election. And I'm also taking issue with the fact that John Oliver is not from the United States, but he's telling us how to run our country. I think he's from England, which is having an invasion of Muslim immigrants taking over their country. Probably got a little too hot over there for John Oliver, so he came to America to seek freedom and opportunity. But he's still going to tell us exactly how we should be running things here. So, John Oliver, take it away.
Joining us, and let us begin with our first and only story, the 2016 election. Or, as you may know it, I thought I wanted it to be over, but now that it's over, I wish it was still going on, because it turns out the ending is even worse, 2016. The results on Tuesday were a little different than what just over half the voters wanted.
We can now project the winner of the presidential race. CNN projects Donald Trump wins the presidency. Donald J. Trump will become the 45th president of the United States.
It's true. That happened. It turns out, instead of showing our daughters that they could someday be president, America proved that no grandpa is too racist to become leader of the free world. Look, Papa, someday that could be you. Now, if you're like me, the implications of this have been hitting you in waves. 1 minute you're numb, and the next minute you realise that Donald Trump, this man, will soon have access to the nuclear codes. And then maybe you get distracted by daily life until it hits you again. Oh, our future president was supported by a former Grand Wizard of the Klan, and 60 million people voted for him despite that. And then maybe you finally managed to get some sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hillary Clinton had her own KKK support. That was the venerable senator from West Virginia, Robert C. Byrd, former Grand Wizard of the KKK. She spoke at his funeral. Donald J. Trump had support from David Duke, who was, I believe, he comes up every time a Republican runs for re-election, and the Democrats use him as some kind of tool to show that, in fact, the Republicans are racist, even though that the majority of KKK members historically have been members of the Democrat Party. But that's just an aside.
Donald Trump will fill that seat, and maybe more. Ruth Bader Ginsburg is in her 80s. Anthony Kennedy is over 80, and there are other justices who've bandied about the idea of retiring. Bottom line, Donald Trump is going to shape the Supreme Court for decades to come.
Wow, that is one of those phrases you just assumed you would never have to hear. Like Vanilla Ice is picking up his Nobel Prize in physics.
And why does John Oliver have to attack Vanilla Ice? What the hell did Vanilla Ice do to John Oliver? Jeez.
Or Henry Kissinger just came out with a line of skinny jeans. They go with everything.
Or John Oliver of Comedy Central has been deported for being a dick.
Now, been wave after wave of nausea all week.
Yeah, I think John Oliver's nauseous because he just got raped in the election, and he's carrying Donald Trump's baby, Vanderbilt.
I woke up on Thursday feeling fractionally better, but then I turned on the TV and saw Trump in the Oval Office with President Obama. I just looked.
Maybe they shouldn't have run the Wicked Witch from the Wizard of Oz as their candidate, and some of that would have changed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am tired of foreign interlopers coming to America, stealing our broadcasting jobs, making fun of our electoral process, making fun of our heroes like the great Vanilla Ice or Donald Trump or Henry Kissinger. And why would Henry Kissinger be involved in the textiles business at all? It doesn't make any sense. John Oliver is tired and sad, and I am sending a official request, which I will personally deliver on Inauguration Day, that John Oliver be waterboarded along with Joy Behar of The View. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for listening to White Lash Radio. I'm your host, Jeffrey Danger. Please feel free to hit me up on Twitter at White Lash Radio or email me at whitelashradio@gmail.com. Thank you guys for listening and have a great day.